Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We meet again with Brother Yahya. Thank you, Brother Yahya. So our next slot is, I think this is something that many people would like to know. We have young mothers, young couple having young children. And usually as a woman, Sheikh, we always pray, please give us a good husband.
Nah.
Then after we get a good husband, please give us good children.
Nah.
When the children come, they become naughty. Then they get annoyed and we don't appreciate. So this is something that all of us face. So we want you to share your experience, how to raise up children from the day before they are born, when they are born, and how they grow up to be good mu'minah or mu'minin, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ba'd. There really isn't one secret recipe.
Good.
And subhanallah, Allah blesses us with children and with wealth, but as a fitna, as a test in life.
Yes.
And Allah says to us, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. We test you both with difficulty, al-khayr wa sharri fitna, good and difficulty as a test for you in life. Yes. And Allah refers to our wives, our children, our wealth in different verses in the Quran as being إِنَّ مِنْ أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَوْلَادِكُمْ عَدُوًّا لَكُمْ فَاحْذَرُوهُم. From your wealth and from your children can be an adu, an enemy to you. Many people, they misunderstand this word enemy. Is it like someone I should be aware of, in the middle of the night, wake up, where's my boy? And, these kind of things. What it means is on the day of judgment, those who have the greatest haqq upon us will be our greatest contestants and enemies before Allah. So Allah says, الْأَخِلَّاءُ بَعْدُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ عَدُوٌّ إِلَّا الْمُتَّقُونَ. The best friends, the nearest people to one another on the day of judgment will be the greatest enemies to one another. Because your child will say, Ya Allah, I didn't pray my Fajr because my father didn't wake me. Your wife will say, Ya Allah, as the hadith of Tirmidhi, the Prophet ﷺ says that when the wife is questioned, she will bring her husband. My wife always terrifies me with this hadith. I'll pull you with your collar. And the Prophet said, تَجُرُّهُ مِنْ عُنُقِهِ. She'll grab you with your neck. لِسُؤَالِهَا, for her su'al. فَإِذَا سُئِلَتْ أَجَابَ عَنْهَا. And whenever Allah questions her, part of her answer is that her husband has to also answer. You woke up, you went to the masjid, but you left me. You woke up, you went to study Quran, you left our children. So there's this, before we even have children, there's this concept within us as devout, people of faith, that we want what is best for our children. Every successful father and mother begins with the perspective, I want my children to be better than I am today. Yes. So I'm a good man, but I want my children to be better than me. Yes. And you see this as being an inspiration given to us by the Prophet ﷺ, where he says in the authentic hadith that there will be two parents, a father and mother, on the day of judgment, and they will be brought in front of everyone. فَيُكْسَى حُلَّةَ الْكَرَامَةِ. They will be given clothing of honor. وَتَاجًا مِّن نُور. And a crown of light, woven by light. ضَوْءُهُ مِثْلَ ضَوْءِ الشَّمْسِ. Its brilliance and radiance is equal or greater to the sun. And the father and mother, husband and wife are going to talk to each other. بِمَا كُسِينَ هَذَا. They will say, why did I get this? I didn't do anything, big in life. And then an angel will respond, بِأَخْذِ وَلَدِكُمُ الْقُرْآنِ. Because you allowed your child to take hold of the Quran. So it's not just salvation, what we want best for our children, but it is personal salvation for ourselves on the day of judgment to be upright parents. So Allah gives us certain principles. One of them is in Surah An-Nisa. In the beginning verses, Allah says, فَلْيَخْشَى الَّذِينَ لَوْ تَرَكُوا مِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّةً ضِعَافًا خَافُوا عَلَيْهِمْ فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. Let those who fear that if they were to depart, if they were to die, and they left behind children, that they fear for them. Will they remain Muslim? And this fear is not something unnatural. Ibrahim asked his children, مَنْ تَعْبُدُونَ مِنْ بَعْدِي, as is in Surah Al-Baqarah. Ishaq asked his children, Yaqub asked his children, who are you going to worship? Maintain this faith that you have. So the one who fears for his children, فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. Let them begin with taqwa. So therefore, our first, I think, principle is that if we want our children to walk the path, we have to be walking it ahead of them.
Ahead.
If we want them to remain on a sirat al-mustaqim, they need to see us there and follow us in that same way, inshallah.
Right. In other words, whenever I meet parents, sometimes even me myself, I tell parents to ask for forgiveness
Naam.
from their children.
Naam.
Because usually when we were younger, we were not so much into Islam perhaps. So while we were conceiving the children, we might be a lot of the munkar. And then, we don't train them, we don't send them to the proper school. So what's your comment about that, Sheikh?
I think tragically today we worry more about the physical ailments of our children more than the spiritual.
True.
And if, my son or daughter fall ill, I am very, very worried. And I'll call emergency, and I'll drive, and I'll call an ambulance, and I'll do everything that I can to sustain their life. But for us as Muslims, there's a duality of life.
Yes.
There's the life of the soul, and there's the life of the body.
Yes.
And Allah says, even the mu'adhin, when you hear the adhan, hayya ala salah, come alive, hayya, through your salah.
Yes.
Hayya ala al-falah. Come to true life by coming to answer this call of prayer. So I think for many of us, we worry more about the physical side and not the heart. So if my son needs extra work or to go to Kuman or, these kind of things for their mind and their intellect and their body and their sports, we spend considerable amounts of money, considerable amounts of time, but when it comes for us measuring the vibrance of their faith and sending them to experts who can teach them the Quran, give them an insight to its meaning, or we go together to a course that's run or a conference that's upcoming, and we say, oh, it's 100 ringgit to go, but at the same time we're paying 200-300 ringgit a month for sports. So I think that perspective has to change. So that's one. I think second as well, we need to really take ownership of what we say and what we do as being a socializing factor for our children. It's not just what we say in front of our children, but how we say it. In my household, may Allah give success to my wife, she makes me to my children as the king. How do they learn to honor me? Not by me teaching them, you have to respect me, but their mother talks about me. Oh, look how hard your father works. Look what he's done. Look what he's bought you. And in the same way, my job is to make her the queen of the world and put that love for them in her heart. So it's not to work for myself, but to work for my spouse, to work together, not to be divided, that what she says, I will stand by it. What I say, she will follow together in what is pleasing to Allah. That our children learn from us that our love is so complete for them, that our discipline of them is not anger or yelling, but is that they feel that love has lessened. And I always say in my parenting courses, discipline is not controlling your child.
Yes.
It is setting lifelong patterns, so that even if you're absent, they can maintain them.
Right. There is a saying that the two best things that parents can give to children is two. One is a good example. One is sense of approval. So what do you think of that?
I think it's absolutely correct. When my son sometimes jumps on me unexpectedly, it's really him saying, Dad, I'm here. I want you to love me more. Or, we'll always see people when we're out shopping. You'll see this one young child sitting on the floor crying, and the mother at a distance saying, come here, come here. And all the child really wants is for you to walk over to them and pick them up and love them and kiss them and cuddle them. And you see this from the example of the Prophet in the hadith in Sahih Muslim, where there was a man named Al-Habis. He was a Sahabi. And he saw the Prophet ﷺ kissing Al-Hasan wal-Husayn and tickling them and playing with them. And Al-Habis said, Liya ashra awlad, I have 10 children, and I never played with them in this way. And the Prophet said, what can I do with a man who Allah has not put mercy, rahmah in his heart? And sometimes we do the same thing inadvertently.
Yes.
Your 4-year-old falls and scrapes the knee, and he's a boy, and the father will say, get up, be a man. And he's 4 years old. You can, walk it off. But really, our children need a lot more nurturing and love and our consideration.